Do I still find Jacob Elordi attractive underneath all of that creature makeup? Let's not ask questions we don't want to hear the answer to. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are talking about Guillermo del Toro's latest film, Frankenstein. This is one of the big films that's coming out later this year. I'm very excited that I got to catch it at TIFF and to talk about it with you today. It has a stacked cast featuring Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Christoph Waltz, and Jacob Elordi. It is a retelling of Mary Shelley's classic tale Frankenstein, where Victor Frankenstein, played by Oscar Isaacs, finds a way to cheat death and create his perfect creation. I would also like to say that Jacob Elordi is pretty much a perfect creation in my book too. I have to admit I was quite hesitant going into this film. This one did not get very good reactions from the Venice Film Festival. Everyone seemed to be talking about the same thing. It's style over substance. Sometimes I'm a little hit or miss with Guillermo del Toro's work. I do really like Pan's Labyrinth. I really enjoyed Nightmare Alley, but Shape of Water is not one of my favorites, so I wasn't really sure where I would fit in on this one. But I am happy to report that I did really like Frankenstein. This very much is a stylish film. It has this gorgeous gothic Victorian vibe to it. It really reminded me of Crimson Peak from him earlier in his career. Just these lavish sets where Victor lives, these gorgeous costumes that we have come to know and love from his films. I think that it is going to be a huge Oscar contender for things such as costumes, hair and makeup styling. The makeup is so good that I literally did not realize that Mia Goth played two characters in this film just because she looked so distinctly different from both of them. And of course, the Jacob Elordi creature makeup too. He is very much unrecognizable. I honestly thought that it was more Doug Jones than Jacob Elordi. The score too was very beautiful. It went from like this very dark, unsettling, almost Jaws-like score in the beginning of the film to a very lighthearted and playful one, especially as the creature comes to live with Victor. It's Alexander Desplat. I absolutely adore his work. For me, the biggest issues that I had with this film were regarding the screenplay and the editing. This is a story that is told in three parts. We get a prelude that sets us up for what is the current situation that Victor and the creature find themselves in. Then we get a very, very, very large chunk that is dedicated to Victor's story, where he is telling us about his upbringing, how he came to be this mad scientist rock star that he is, and what eventually led to the creature's creation. And then we also end with the creature's tale. What is it like to be the creature? What is it like to be shackled in Victor's control? Right off the bat, the prelude very much sets up the tone of this film. We get to see the creature being very violent. I genuinely did not expect this from him. He is like growling like an animal. He is so ferocious. He is attacking everyone and everything. I just did not expect to see that much violence literally right off the bat with this film. As we move into Victor's tale, the first half of that I would say is more or less not really necessary. We get this whole introduction to him as a child, his tense relationship with his father, and his very close bond with his mother. All of that is, I suppose, good to know, just extra details. But the more we go into his part, felt like we did not really need much of that setup. I guess it explains a little bit about his eventual relationship with the creature itself when it comes to father-son relationships, but I don't know, we could have left a bit of that out. It's also here where we get Christoph Waltz's character, who is essentially just financing Victor and his quest to create this creature. He kind of served no other purpose. I did very much enjoy seeing Oscar Isaac in this role. He goes from being, I guess, just like a regular professor to this rock star mad scientist. The scenes where he is setting up the creation of the creature are so well done. His hair is like flopping all over the place. It is pouring outside. It just looks crazy, and he fully plays into that. What I did not expect is that in a film with Oscar Isaac, in a film with two-time Academy Award winner Christoph Waltz, you have Jacob Elordi giving the hands-down best performance of this film. This guy went and studied and excelled at the Doug Jones School of Monster Performance. I mean, I was so surprised by his physicality, the way that he showed emotion through his eyes. I mean, he barely has any dialogue in the first chunk of this film, and I was so captivated by all of his movements, by just the gentle way that he and Mia Goth were working opposite each other versus the very tense relationship that forms between him and Oscar Isaac's Victor. I was just so shook. I was so captivated by him. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, I really enjoyed his performance as Elvis Presley in Priscilla. That is a great film for those of you who are wanting to see a little bit more about what Jacob Elordi can do. Yes, he is pretty good on Euphoria as well, but I feel like Priscilla really pushed him to reach a new level. And I mean, Frankenstein takes it to a whole other place too. And he was so good that when we eventually get into the creature's tale in the second part / latter half of this film, I wish that that was far longer in this film. It is just so moving to watch him go through life, especially with so much hurt that he withstands from Victor, both physical and emotional. I just wanted to be on this journey with him as he eventually leaves Victor's control, kind of goes out into the world. He makes a new connection with an older gentleman. Seeing this bond between Victor and the creature when he is first alive, I guess, reminded me a lot of Poor Things, with both how God and Bella were acting with each other, this very fatherly child relationship that they have going on. Also, the movements and the way that the creature is trying to learn about the world around him, to try to learn any type of language, is also similar to Bella's journey. As I mentioned, Mia Goth plays two roles in this film. In most of the movie, she is Victor's brother's fiance, and I just wish that her character had a bit more to it. She was kind of just there. You know, she and Victor very much butted heads. There was a bit of like a interesting romance developing between them, which also kind of felt a little, I don't know, unnecessary. And as the movie kept going, she didn't really have a whole lot to do. She does eventually get intertwined with the monster. Very much reminded me of Edward Scissorhands. And also they literally have her wearing a white dress. It's snowing outside. Like, so many comparisons to that film can be made. I think that Guillermo does a really interesting job with this whole story of human connection, and he said during the Q&A that he really wanted to make a story about a father and a son, and that's certainly a theme that we've seen with some of his previous films too. Pinocchio, for example, that is a great father-son story, and for the most part, I really was digging this film. I was quite enjoying the performances. Again, Jacob Elordi just absolutely blew me away. All of the costumes and the sets and the score and the cinematography, beautiful cinematography, all of that really captivated me and immerse me into the world. But really, that runtime is such a beast. I do not think we need to have it at 2.5 hours. That one definitely could have been trimmed by at least 10, maybe even 15, mainly tackling that first chunk in Victor's story. And even toward the end of this film too, I felt like the last, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so really started to drag. It's after we get out of the creature's tail, it just seems like it keeps going and going and going. There is very much something to be said about watching this film during a film festival when it's closer toward the end and you are just running on fumes. Maybe I'll feel a little differently the second time around when I see this, but I do think that we need to have some cuts in this. Overall, I have settled on 3.5 out of 5 stars for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I do see this being a pretty big Oscar contender when it comes to the crafts and the technical elements. I would love to see Jacob Elordi in the Best Supporting Actor race. I feel like it's probably getting stacked. It might not be recognized. If it works out for him, then he will have a big champion from me. I do think this will probably work its way into Best Picture. I don't don't think it's going to win Best Picture. It might not even get into it, but I think it's a serious contender just because it's Guillermo. The Academy loves him. He is shown up multiple times in the past with films that the audience in general has not been too hot on, so it could happen. Thanks guys so much for watching, and we'll see you here next time.